Hey, I'm looking at the calendar on the wall. It says it's Friday. What are we doing? We're looking at plays. Stick around. Greetings, everybody. Welcome back to 5 Play Friday. My name is Greg Austin with the Better Official. We help craft video to help basketball officials get better and take control of their officiating career. Glad you could join us today. How are we going to get started? You know what we're going to do. We're going to have a You Make the Call play. What do you have on this play? All right, early in the period, we have some rebounding action. A foul is ruled. The officials rule this to be a shooting foul. What do you have on this play? Put your ruling down in the comments and stick around to the end of the video where we'll look at all of the things on play number 1. All right, let's move on quickly. Play number 2. All right, a super short clip, but it's great to see these plays in the wild. We read about it in the rules book. We don't always see it when it occurs. Of course, we're going to have a very flexible net in this situation, but we have the ball entering the basket from below. This is a violation. This is, in this case, no, there's no team control. In this case, it is by the opponent of the team. This would be a blue throw-in at one of the 4 throw-in spots, the one closest to the violation. How would we determine that if it went through the basket? But it's just great to see these plays on video so that we can, put the rule with the actual action in the game. This, if we're working this game, we may see this action where then it's like, wait a minute, right? It may take a moment to process what has actually occurred on this play, but it is a violation on a team to cause the basketball to enter the basket from below. This would be a violation by white. It's inadvertent, but it happens. And it would be a blue throw-in on the end line. If we were in a shot clock state, this would be a reset of the shot clock. Yeah, yes it would. So, not something we see every day. Great to see it on video just so that we can catalog it, put it in our memory bank for when it occurs in the game. Understand if it occurs in the game, there may be some processing time involved. We can always come late on this play. But yeah, it's good to see the play in the wild. It's great to see plays that are very uncommon. But what I find common is the fact that we have tremendous show supporters who help fuel our broadcast. Who is up on the show supporter big board today? Stan Bichler, Philip Go, Bert Jaime, Daniel Ravenscroft, and Tom Hickey. Much appreciated, much love. You want to support the show? I will ensure a link is placed upon the screen, in the show description, in the first pinned comment, and up above. Awesome. Let's move on. Next play. Okay, another play, just great to see it in the wild. You hear about these things, sometimes you see video of it, but we have a player who loses their shoe, picks up their shoe, is playing basketball holding their shoe, player goes to the basket, and the defensive player blocks the shot with their shoe. What do we have on this play? This is a player technical foul by rule. Yeah, I would say by rule. I don't know if we'd find it in the rule, but this would be a player technical in this situation. Our calling official does a great job of, like, we've had something unusual occur in the game. Let's slow down and communicate and figure out exactly what we have, how to proceed. Our crew gets together, they talk about it, they say, well, this is going to be a player technical foul. Yeah. Not something you see every day, right? In addition, on this play, we have some additional action here that's good to review, right? Black has a throw-in, shot clock, 35 seconds, starts on the touch, or that's the way we do it here in California. This player in white grabs the basketball and throws it. That should be a reset. This should be white has a shot clock going. White has a shot clock going, right? And it was reset. That's fantastic. Many times you're not going to see that from your shot clock operator, but just be aware. Yeah. So, not a play we see every day. Great job by the crew processing, slowing down. Wait a minute. We've got something atypical. Here's what I have on the play. This is how we're going to adjudicate, etc. We're moving forward, and then identifying it as a player technical foul. So great job on that play scenario. Hey, thanks to Phil Dicketts for that play scenario. It's great to see it in the wild again. If you want to submit a play to 5 Play Friday, I'll put a link here on the screen. It'll be in the show description. It will be in the first pinned comment. And it'll be up above. All right, let's move on. Next play.
Foul goes against number 30, Heel. At the APK service free throw line, Sydney Roberts. Missed the first one off the front.
Bo next foul will be back in the bonus.
Yeah, that was their fourth.
All right, not something you see every day. We have misaligned players on a free throw. Our officiating crew does not recognize this scenario. We attempt a free throw with the players in the position. What is the proper ruling? Not something you see every day, right? If we've got players, simply the two players in the closest to the camera being in that position, and the ball becoming live, we have a simultaneous violation by rule in that situation. The free throw, therefore, has ended. Anytime that the shooting team is involved in a simultaneous violation, the free throw has ended. Either a shooting team, one of their players violates, or a simultaneous violation. So at this point, we should have a violation. It's not a delayed violation. This free throw attempt is over. This is the first of two. Our lead official says, okay, wait a minute. I've got something to figure out here. Indicates a delayed violation. Our center official comes in and says, hey, this is how we're going to rule on this play. That free throw has ended by rule. Great job there. But of course, this always brings up the scenario that when we have free throws, especially the first of two free throws, we can sometimes become a little disconnected from the play. We, as some like to say, take a little me time. We're taking a breath, becoming disconnected from officiating the game, not being as diligent as we can be. And yeah, that can happen. So we have official training that's available on free throw scenarios, all the rules and restrictions, and it does address the concept of me time, as we like to say. And I'll put a link here on the screen. It'll be down in the show description as well, where you can find that training for new and experienced basketball officials. All right. Let's move on. Let's look at our next play. Block charge? Let's take a look.
Smile with it over on the right wing. Comes off of a screen into the paint. In a little bit of trouble, kicks it over to Kowal. He'll jump all the way into the baseline, and another charge will be called on Kowal. It's that time. Who took that foul?
Rylan Satter
okay, I was
going to
say, it looked like he took the foul, and now he's...
All right, block charge from center. Banger. What do you have on this play? In the end, I think our defender's legal, and there's some interesting aspects of how they get to legal in this situation. Let's take a look at all of the things. Right. So our center's on an island here. I think our lead official had been ball watching previously. Right. And the question, whenever we have a play scenario like this, is, okay, who is officiating whom? Is our center official officiating this player here? Or is our center official officiating this player here? Or is our center official officiating both players? Right? We have a block charge that occurs here. Who belongs to this defender here? That's always the case. But let's take a look at the play itself. Boy, that's a banger. That's a banger. So something about this play is our defender, right, we would expect them to take another step and not be legal in this situation, but they don't. Let's take a look here. We'd expect our defender to move that left foot, but they don't. They stop in this position. Our player is on the floor. Our player goes up. Did they continue to move? I don't think enough to make this a block. Hold on. They are here. Yeah. I'm buying it. I'm buying what the center official is selling on that one. It's close. It's close. But of course, we can look at all the things in this scenario. Right? Our lead official is officiating off ball. Got a cutter coming through. Sees the drive coming down the lane. Stays with that. The lean probably could step a little wider. Of course, anybody who watches this show knows I'm not a fan of working as lead in a pinch position. It would be much better to be wider here. But then when the ball goes, we have to make a decision right now, while the ball is in flight, what we're going to do as lead. Our lead stays put. Yeah, center takes it. Yeah, I like it. I like it. Close play. Close play. Yep. But in the end, yeah, I like it. Hey, back at the start of the video, we had play number 1. Let's review play number 1. On this play, we're early in the period. We are not in the bonus. We have the second of 2 free throws. A player leaves the floor, displaced. Was this a foul on the defense? Was this a shooting foul? Did our crew handle things correctly here on this play? This is a great play, right? This is a shooting foul. That player was tapping the basketball. They were certainly vertical. The defensive player, in an effort to box out, displaces the player. This player should be on the line for 2. They are. We didn't communicate that at the spot. And what do we expect from our coach, our defensive coach in this situation? He sees, the offensive player go. Well, how would a coach phrase it? Over the back. Right? When you walk under or back under, I like to call this play a back under play. This displacement occurs in this fashion. These players go up. That is a tap, attempt for goal. That airborne player is displaced. We are shooting 2. Could have been more clear as the calling official here because we were not in the bonus. But a great job of the crew communicating prior to the attempting of free throws to make sure that we get it right. This play was correctly ruled. Yeah, we like it. Hands up everywhere, right? We have to fight for these plays. We know this is the correct ruling on this play. Many people see the outside player coming over the top, over the back. That's what they see when they see this play. But as officials, we need to recognize that this player left the ground legally. Our inside player displaced them by contacting them while they were airborne. What does this lead to? It leads to a toppling over on top of the inside player, and that's what many people see on this play. But this play was properly ruled. Great get by our lead official. Yeah. So many positives on the play. This is how we want to handle these back under, walk under plays. And a great job by our calling official on this one. All right, we have time for a bonus play. Who doesn't like an exciting finish? Let's take a look at a bonus play.
They had it at the first 2 overtime.
8 seconds for Robinson. Robinson, first game back of the new year. Fader at the horn. It goes! Zay Robinson wins it for Valley. What a game!
I could say he's back.
Rogers will throw in. 0.5 on the clock. Rogers.
Costello
at the horn. It goes! Mason Costello wins it at the horn for Milwaukee in the greatest game I have ever seen. You are kidding me!
Holy cow!
A miracle has happened at the Milwaukee Fieldhouse. Mason Costello has etched his name in history.
But wait a minute, he didn't call bank. Does that count?
I do not believe what I have just seen.
All right, a thrilling finish. The announcers had called the game on the first basket right here. Game winner, not so much. Not so much, Greg, because the clock expires in this situation. But let's look at the habits and fundamentals of the crew. These are obviously the most essential moments of the game, and how we handle them is critical, right? In this scenario, all 3 officials recognize a timeout by White in this situation. And that's exactly, we need to be super aware of timeout requests, knowing that a timeout is available to the team, anticipating that they may make a timeout request after the scored goal. Somebody's going to get hurt, man. Come on now. We got kids jumping on the pile. We got players at the bottom. Ay. I mean, we love a good finish, but And then we have some things on the resulting throw-in and tremendous shot that gets off. Let's look at all of the things on this play. First off, here we are. We understand the situation. We're under 6 seconds, 2 OTs, right? This is the end of the second overtime, right? That's our game. Everybody is looking at that shot. Everybody should have an opinion about whether the shot gets off. We weren't really close, etc. And then when the ball goes in the basket, center and trail recognize a timeout request by the coach. I think our lead official recognizes a timeout request by a player. It appears that occurs at 0.7. We end up with 0.5 on the clock. There's going to be a moment we look at the coach, we look at the clock, etc. We don't have the opportunity to go back and look at video and adjust the clock accordingly. They go with 0.5. We have a throw-in play that we need to be aware of. The shot appears to get off in time. The clock didn't start early. It didn't start late. It's certainly within the time frame. We can't judge for sure. We can't see the clock. The try is released. The ball goes in. Bedlam ensues. A great job by our crew in this situation. Now, let's look at, we're coming out of the timeout. We've granted the timeout. We've put time on the clock. And we have this throw-in scenario. What do we expect? If we're in double overtime, we got to figure both teams are in the bonus. Oftentimes, teams will attempt to run a play where they set a screener, white 30, in an attempt to get the player who's guarding the basketball to run them over and get a foul and then shoot 2 free throws. It's a desperation move. Oftentimes we'll see our screening player actually do something illegal themselves in an attempt to draw the foul. So we need to be aware of that in this situation. We have the very deliberate positioning by our center official, right? We're in great position, right? We just want to be aware. So we would expect this ball in this situation. They're not going to throw it to white 30, right? That's not what we would expect. Would we? Let's take a look. Our trail official indicates that the player has the ability to run. Unsuccessfully trying to draw a foul there. Our player grabs one step, releases. Phenomenal. Phenomenal. Who doesn't like a game that ends in this fashion? Well, in this instance, Black. Black didn't like it. But a great way for our game to end. So, love it. Last second shot. Super exciting. We love that in our game. But all of the habits and fundamentals by our crew here are really critical. We want to be super aware of timeout requests. Try to get the clock as close as possible. Tenths of a second really matter in this situation. We want to anticipate on the resulting throw-in. We want to let it all play out. Call the super obvious in end-of-game situations. And hopefully we can have exciting finishes as well and feel like we did all of the things. We were fully prepared each step along the way. Our crew does a great job here, and that is tremendous. And you know what else is tremendous? We've got a tremendous group of show supporters. Who's up on the show supporter big board today? Stan Bichler, Philip Go, Bert, Jaime, Daniel Ravenscroft, and Tom Hickey. Much appreciated, much love. Yes, indeed. On the screen, show description, first pinned comment, and up above. Awesome. Thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. Much appreciated. A great help to the channel would be if you like this video, gets us in front of more basketball officials so that we can all get better together. In addition, I've got the training available on free throw situations rather. That's over there. We've got additional video content. Have a great week. We'll see you in the next one. Take care, everybody.